In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 things that top CEOs do every morning that sets them up for the day ahead. These aren't fluffy habits or morning routine hacks. They're how top CEOs shift out of reactivity and how they lead their day with clarity, energy, and execution. I've used these exact frameworks with CEOs in 18 countries to help them become the leader their business needs. And number 5, it's the one you're probably skipping and it's costing you clarity, influence, and control. If you're new here, my name's Byron Morrison. I'm the author of The Effective CEO 2.0, and I help scale up CEOs become more effective in their role. So let's dive in. Action number 1 is to slow down before you speed up. You can't lead a team, scale a business, or think strategically when your nervous system is in survival mode. And yet, most overwhelmed operators wake up and sprint into the day, diving straight into Slack, email, and fires. The problem with that is when you start your day already activated, stressed, or bracing for impact, you're not thinking, you're reacting, and your entire day follows that energy. This is going to influence everything from your decision making to your focus and your emotional state. That's why before you do anything else, take 2 minutes of stillness, slow down, breathe, feel your body and reset. Visualize how you need to show up today and then shift your focus to prepare for the day ahead. Mentally walk through any hard conversations, through tough calls or high stake decisions before you're in them. It's like an elite athlete. They don't just step up to the plate, swing, and hope for the best. They play it out in their mind in advance so that they're focused and prepared. And if you want to be a highly effective leader, you need to approach it the same way. This isn't a mindfulness trend, it's nervous system leadership. Because if you're dysregulated, every decision, reaction, and tone you set is going to bleed into your business, which is why these few minutes will help you be calm, grounded, and ready for what's next. Action number 2 is to audit the day ahead. Most overwhelmed CEOs don't manage their time, they manage other people's expectations. And every morning they step into a calendar they didn't design. And if you're on calls that don't need you, if you're chasing tasks your team should own, if your to-do list is built around urgency, not impact, you're not operating like a CEO, you're reacting like a project manager. This is why the most effective CEOs ensure that the things they take on actually matter, and they only get involved in the areas of the business that need their attention. To do this yourself, look through your meetings, your to-do list, and every other commitment, then ask yourself, is this actually important? Do you need to be involved in this? Could this be done by someone else? The goal is to free yourself up as much as possible because every task you delegate, every call you skip, every decision you push down, it gives you back capacity. And capacity is the oxygen CEOs need to scale. Action number 3 is plan like a CEO. You'd be amazed how many leaders I speak to who, beyond having a rough to-do list, don't take the time to plan their day. And I get it, with so much on your plate, it can feel like you just need to dive in and get going. But if you're about to work an 8 or 12-hour day, do you really not have 10 minutes to figure out where you'll be spending that time? It's the planning you do will directly dictate your focus, actions, and decisions. That's why every morning take some time to think about what are your key priorities? What are the things that you need to move forward? What does success look like? From action number 2, you are freed up wasted time and you can now assign these tasks to your availability and ensure you do the things that actually matter. As a next step, go through your meetings and figure out what you want to get out of them. What do you need to prepare in advance? Think through your conversations. What do you need to communicate? What expectations need to be put in place? This intentionality is how you'll set yourself up for the day ahead. And if you aren't sure how to properly plan, or if you want to make sure you're maximizing what you get out of that time, then in the description below, you can grab a copy of my book, The Effective CEO 2.0. It'll take you through the effective CEO planning process and teach you everything you need to know about how to manage your time, structure your days and weeks, and lead like the CEO your business needs. Action number 4 is move the needle early. If you let admin, meetings, or your inbox run your morning, then the rest of your day isn't yours anymore. It belongs to everyone else's agenda. Because how many times do you look up at 6 p.m. and think, I've been busy all day, but I don't actually know what I moved forward? That's exactly why top CEOs protect the start of their day like it's sacred. They don't begin with email or quick wins, they begin with momentum. In fact, a few weeks ago, I was working with a CEO who felt constantly pulled in 10 directions. Every day ended with frustration. Not because he wasn't working hard, but because the things that actually mattered kept getting pushed aside. So we made one big shift. He started blocking the first 2 hours of every day for his key priorities. No meetings, no calls, no distractions, just deep focused work on the things that actually move the business forward. Within a week, he was calmer, he was more in control, and finally making progress on the projects he'd been stuck on for months. You don't need 4 hours for this. Sometimes just an hour focused on one thing that actually matters can change everything. Because when you move the needle early, you take control of your day. And then no matter what fires come up later, you'll know the day was already a win. So start strong and let the rest of the day follow your lead. Action 5 is decide who needs the best of you today. Your job isn't to be everywhere, it's to be precisely where you make the biggest difference. Most overwhelmed operators spend their energy on whoever screams the loudest. Their day becomes a sequence of urgent demands, not intentional leadership. Then they wonder why their team is misaligned, underperforming, or lacking direction. And I'll tell you this, every CEO I've worked with who hit burnout had one thing in common. They were trying to be everything to everyone. But it's not your job to do everything, it's your job to lead. And that's why this habit is so critical. It's about shifting from being available to being intentional. So here's what I get my clients to ask themselves every morning. Who actually needs me today? Not my time, but my best thinking, energy, and presence. Where in the business am I most needed as a leader, not a problem solver? Who on my team needs clarity, challenge, or support, and am I showing up for them? Because leadership isn't just about what you do, it's about how you show up. That 15-minute check-in you almost skipped, that could be the moment your head of ops finally gets back on track. That brief strategic pulse with your team could shift an entire project's direction. But if you don't recognize the importance of this in advance, you risk wasting your time and energy getting pulled into something that is less impactful. This is what we do inside the Evolve CEO program. Not just helping you manage your time, but helping you lead with intention. Because when you show up where it actually counts, you multiply your impact without multiplying your hours. And that's how you stop being the bottleneck and you start becoming the driving force behind your business's growth. To help you take the first step towards taking back control, I put together the CEO Bottleneck Scorecard. It's completely free, and in just 3 minutes, it will pinpoint what's draining your time, energy, and momentum. And you'll walk away knowing what to fix and where to focus. I'll drop the link in the description below, as it's the best next step to take from here. So there you have it. 5 things top CEOs do every morning that sets them up for the day ahead. If you want to become more effective in your role, then I really advise taking some time to put it all together and build your CEO operating system. Because these 5 habits aren't tactics. They're the backbone of your ability to show up as the leader your business really needs. Because when you repeat them, you refine them and protect them, that's how you'll stop reacting and you'll start leading. So commit to taking the first few minutes each morning to slow down, to audit what you're taking on, to plan your day, to work on what's most important, and to figure out who you need to show up for. Get consistent with that, and it'll impact every area of your business. Because the way you start your day doesn't just affect your performance, it determines the energy you lead from, the clarity you bring, and the results your team can deliver. If you want to dive further into any of this, then grab my book, The Effective CEO, using the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments below which of these actions you're going to start with. I've been Byron Morrison, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.